Welcome to Ghosted by the Machine, the podcast where job seekers break through the algorithm and get heard. No bots, just 5 minutes of real talk. I'm your host, Mark Lane. Let's jump in today. Our guest today is Joe Robertson, a senior digital marketing professional from Indiana who's currently looking for a senior role in e-commerce. Good day, sir. How are you doing today, Joe?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
Well, I'm glad you could spend some time with us. We're going to jump right in. Tell me a little bit about yourself and what role you're looking for.
Sure. I've kind of had an interesting career path. I started off after college working in banking and financial services. I worked in that for about a decade. My transition into what I do now, which is web development, B2B commerce, was kind of an accident. Actually, I had a business that I wanted to sell online, and after consulting with some agencies and seeing what they were going to charge me way back in 2014 to build an e-commerce site, I said, well, I'm just going to have to learn this myself. There's no way I can afford that. And I started digging in, found some YouTube videos, some tutorials, got to work on it, and absolutely fell in love with the process, and decided I wanted to make that my career. So I was fortunate enough, I found some classes here nearby. I was able to get certified through Code Louisville in PHP development and front end development. And Stephanie, my boss over at Mercer, gave me a shot back way back about 10 years ago to work on their sites. And that's where I was for the last 10 years. I work in kind of B2B e-commerce website management. My title was a digital marketing specialist, but I've done all kinds of different things. Email marketing, e-commerce website optimization, project management. The latest project I did was I helped consolidate 47 different country sites into one, centralized e-commerce platform, and we were able to take our profits from 36 grand to 3.2 million in about 5 years. So I'm extremely proud about that. So I'm looking for something that will give me an opportunity to, kind of flex those e-commerce muscles, help people make money online, and show what I can do. Because at the end of the day, that's what that's for. So
Exactly. Well, you do a lot of work on the internet, and I'm sure you're very familiar with AI, like everyone is now. Do you think AI has helped you or hurt you during your job search right now, and why?
that's a good question. I think it's both, but I definitely think it's more hurt than help. Where AI has helped is it's made me more efficient for sure. When it comes to things like, helping rewrite cover letters to make sure they're, concise and grammatically correct. It's helped me, format resumes and things like that. But where it's hurt, I think it's taken a lot of the personal touch out of, the job hunting process. I feel like that it's become more about checking boxes
Mhm.
and trying to bypass these AI filters more so than being able to talk to somebody and get a feeling for who they are and the kind of work they do. I have a track record of success. I have glowing references, and I have a hard time just getting past the first round of instant rejection a lot of times, which I feel like a lot of people do too. So
Sure.
has it helped? It's made things more efficient, but at the same time, it's made it more impersonal, which I think is a bad thing. So I'd say overall, it's more hurt than helped.
Sure. Yeah, it's working in marketing and communications like I do. There's no more of that personal touch. There's no more of the, a call from the HR department. It's an email,
Mm-hmm.
the dreaded Dear John letter at 3 a.m. letting you know
Yeah.
that thank you for applying.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Absolutely.
so what would you consider your secret skill or superpower that most resumes don't show?
Gosh, I thought a lot about that one. I definitely think that it's my ability to learn things quickly. I changed careers in my basically early 30s to from banking to tech by teaching myself how to code. And when I got hired at Mercer, I was handed several systems, just basically given a log on and a couple of training videos that, hey, figure this out.
Sure.
And I was able to do that and do it successfully. So that's something my resume doesn't really show, is that I have a very high aptitude for learning, and I enjoy learning it. I fell in love with tech because I was able to learn it and learn it quickly, and I've always enjoyed it for the last 10 years. Learning new technologies is fascinating to me. So I think if there's anything I could somehow convey in a resume, that would probably be it.
Okay. So, what is one thing you tell recruiters or hiring managers today about yourself?
One thing I would tell recruiters and hiring managers, I would tell them in general not to get hung up on checking boxes. What I mean by that is I've run into a lot of situations where the job listing will list 15 platforms or technologies they use. And I have experience with 13 of them. And they'll go, oh, well, you've got a lot of good experience, but, we're really looking for somebody that, has experience with A and B. And I'm like, well, I've used, similar things that operate and do a lot of the same functions. It feels like they get hung up on a lot of, they're trying to find a unicorn, I
Right.
guess, like for a better term. And I don't know how many of those are out there. So
You look at these job qualifications and you're like, wait a minute, I have transferable skills. I should be able to work in this market if I
yeah,
have X, Y, and Z. I just don't have A, B, but X, Y, and Z are compatible. Why aren't we looking at that? So
right.
that those algorithms aren't set up for that. They're looking for what they put on the or in the program. So
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
it's sad. Nobody's getting a chance to be looked at for their job description or
That's absolutely
their
right.
abilities. So
That's absolutely right.
is there anything that's giving you hope right now?
It's primarily it's my faith. Yeah, I have a very strong faith in God, and I believe that that everything happens for a reason, and that eventually the path forward is going to show itself. There's something good waiting on the other side of all this for me and my family. I firmly believe that. Also, my family, my wife's been extremely supportive, and just the fact that I have an 8-year old little girl at home that's watching.
Yeah,
I have to keep showing up and put on a brave face and keep hitting that submit button even if I don't really feel like it. So, and there are
sure.
days that I don't, but I like I mentioned before, I hit my 1,000th application submitted about 2 or 3 weeks ago. And there's some days it's harder than others, but because you've got little eyeballs looking at you, you keep moving forward. So I believe that things are going to work out in the end.
Sure. I believe that also, and they should have a badge that you can put on your LinkedIn file. Applied for 1,000 jobs. Applied
Yeah,
for 1,500. It's that
yeah,
those
exactly.
give someone a star for working that hard. You're working that hard to get a job. It's amazing. So thank you again, Joe, for being with us today. And your information will be on your LinkedIn. So
Yep.
Joe's LinkedIn and additional information will be in the show notes. So check those out. If you would like to be on the show, just message me on LinkedIn or shoot me an email. We're always looking for real voices in this ghost town of job search silence. This is Ghosted by the Machine. Let's make human hiring again. Thanks again and have a great day.
Thanks, Mark.